Western New York's child care crisis, who is getting it right and the cost of getting it wrong.
Our Hiring 716 team taking a hard look at the state of child care in Western New York. And tonight, I-Team investigator Ed Dranch asks why Erie County gets less state money than other comparable counties and what impact that has on our parents, children, and child care providers.
I am thankful for...
At 9 years old,
I am thankful for having a roof over my head.
Elijah Robertson realizes how fortunate he is
And a fun dad.
and how hard his father, Jackie, is working to provide him with a good life.
We're just looking to just maintain right now and try to figure out how to get through this period.
Jackie, a single father, is struggling to make ends meet. Last year, he moved out of his Elmwood Village apartment to his mother's Maston Avenue home, working to save money and pay off $140,000 in undergraduate and master's degree debt, all while paying for summer and after-school childcare for Elijah.
Childcare is very expensive, it's very costly, and people who are having children are really just trying to make it.
Jackie does not qualify for grant money doled out by the federal government to states and counties because he makes too much in his full-time job. A family of two would qualify for this subsidy if they had an income at or below $32,920 per year. Each county pays the child care provider directly based on the family need and type of care, but there is less money available for people who live in Erie County than counties of similar size. Look at this chart from the Western New York Women's Foundation. There are nearly 280,000 people in Erie County living at or below 200% of the federal poverty line. If each of those people used the subsidy, there would only be about $90 available per person compared to the $160, $257, and $122 available for folks in Monroe, Nassau, and Suffolk counties, respectively.
Erie County had significantly underutilized their funding under a previous administration, and so we just get less. That will always kind of be stuck with us.
Sherry Scavone, the executive director of the Western New York Women's Foundation, says this is a cyclical issue with the state based on a 5-year formula.
We will always be in a hole. So it's not based on need. It's not, because it's based on this formulation strategy that goes back in history.
It could potentially increase.
Jacqueline Hall is the Erie County Executive Director for Family Independence. She says right now everyone in Erie County who applies for the subsidy is receiving it, but there used to be a waiting list.
Can we say one administration perhaps didn't use it to its fullest extent?
Yeah, I wasn't here during that time, so I really couldn't answer that question, in its entirety. But, based on the 5-year average, it allowed us to not have as much funding as we would have if we would have used that funding.
At this point, Erie County says it's doing all it can, capping eligibility at 200% of the federal poverty line. That's the maximum the state allows. State Senator Tim Kennedy, however, is looking to raise that threshold to 275%, helping more families. But he says money isn't necessarily free-flowing.
Where does it come from? So it's through the budget process, and we have to demonstrate as a state that childcare and allowing families to afford childcare is a priority for the state of New York.
If the cap was raised to 275%, the income level would jump from just under $33,000 to just over $45,000.
Would this ensure that Erie County residents get more money in the subsidy? Absolutely.
That's something Jackie Robertson supports, so he can provide for his son with some extra help.
Do you ever see the end?
You don't until daycare stops is when you kind of see the end.
For the I-Team, Ed Dranch, 7 Eyewitness News.
It sure is a complicated issue. In that story, you heard mention of a previous administration underutilizing funding. That's believed to be in reference to Congressman Chris Collins' time as Erie County executive.
And in a statement, the congressman wrote to us, quote, downstate liberals who control Albany originally cut their support of child care subsidies by more than 60% and expected Erie County taxpayers to foot the bill. Chris Collins said no, protecting county taxpayers from another unfunded state mandate from Albany liberals, and in the end forced state officials to restore a majority of the original cuts without an impact on county taxpayers. If Mark Poloncarz believes that there are problems with this program, he should have fixed them himself over the last 7 years.
Our coverage culminates with our live panel discussion tomorrow evening at 7:30. We'll have special guests from all sides of the child care spectrum. Again, that's tomorrow evening at 7:30.